Hello, everybody, and welcome back to NextDev. My name is Ryan Vogel, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host.
Dan Goosewin.
And I just want to say once again, if you're not using CodeRabbit, the sponsor of NextDev Live, what are you doing, man? I mean, are you manually reviewing those code like PRs and pushes all by yourself? You're wasting time. Go get CodeRabbit. devlink.run/CodeRabbit. Automate your PRs, automate your code review, make your life faster, and go back to watching TikToks instead of actually writing code. Check it out today. Thank you to CodeRabbit for sponsoring NextDev. But today we've got a very special guest. We have Robbie Wagner. How you doing today, Robbie?
Hey, I'm good. How are you?
Doing well, doing well. So, Robbie, we always like to do this. Give us the 1 or 2 minute sort of like life story. How'd everything happen? If you can fit it in a minute, I'll Venmo you $20, but I bet you can't.
Just a small ask. 1 minute, describe your entire life. Come on, man.
Yeah. I don't know if I could fit it in a minute. Yeah. I'm trying to think where to start. Yeah, for like from web perspective, probably goes back to custom MySpace layouts and stuff for my own band and other bands and things like that. Did some like graphic design stuff as well back in those days. Some Photoshop that I totally paid for, and went from there to like went to college at Virginia Tech. Did a bunch of web dev stuff. Just kind of fell in love with the whole JavaScript scene and Ember.js specifically. I'm on the Ember Learning Core team, so big Ember fanboy, big Tailwind fanboy. Been working lots of places using Ember for the last decade or so, and not using Tailwind really at work, unfortunately. But
Oh, boo.
yeah.
What are you manually writing all those classes now?
Yeah, so I work at HashiCorp now, which was just acquired by IBM. I'm still confused on which I'm supposed to say, but we have a design system, and so does IBM. So there's also some like controversy there. But either one that you're going to use, you don't really need Tailwind because you have to use the design system components and style everything that way. So
Yeah. Let us go to the very beginning. I'm curious how you started your career in software development. How'd you end up in this beautiful world of hydration errors and web framework races, etc.?
yeah, so my first web dev job was at MailPilot. It was a startup that like most email apps now kind of have this built in where it's like your email is a to-do list and you like check things off and like save things for later and all that kind of stuff. It was like the first thing to do that. And it was an Ember app. And I had like a part-time job there during college doing that. And then from there, I worked at Red Hat for a bit as a consultant, and I went from like JavaScript to back end Java.net, like quote unquote real programming. And then was like, this is not as fun. So I want to go back to the the JavaScript world where everything is just wild and crazy and a lot more fun.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. I mean, who wouldn't love JavaScript? Come on now. It's like when you get an error, it shows you exactly where the error happened. I mean, it's perfect,
Oh yeah,
you know?
it's always so descriptive.
Of course. It never says like 1,000 lines of just stack traces and all this other stuff. So, if we go all the way back, what would you say the first like production code that you've shipped is? Would you say you have like a single thing that you can remember?
I remember at MailPilot, I shipped a notes feature, so you could like take notes on a little notepad on each email. I think that was the first thing that went out to customers.
That's nice. Yeah, I feel like that'd be helpful. I feel like mail clients now don't even have that.
I don't know.
Man,
It
get back to
depends
work.
on
Come
your
on,
mail
come on
client.
now. Well, I know Apple Mail doesn't. I know
Oh yeah.
iCloud doesn't have it. Outlook, Gmail.
Yeah, we
Who
used
knows?
Missive for a while. We stopped paying for it, so I didn't want to use it anymore because it cost money. But yeah, it had a thing where you could like message people privately on each email and stuff. And I think you could like message yourself, kind of like Slack style, and like take notes.
Nice. Yeah, that definitely seems easier to use. Be very
I mean,
convenient.
do you know Superhuman? Did you ever use it?
I used Superhuman for like a couple months. That was also expensive, and I was just like, I don't want to spend the time to learn all the hotkeys. I liked that it was all like keyboard controllable and stuff, but yeah, I was just I'm a mouse guy most of the time, unfortunately.
Oh, interesting. Very interesting. But yeah, it is crazy pricey. Anywho,
Yeah.
I want to dive into the Ember.js story arc. I know that you've been on the team Ember for nearly a decade now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, question, would you use it today?
Yeah, I use it today.
You use it. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah,
So you're still
HashiCorp
pro
is
Ember.
all Ember. Yeah.
Right. Oh, that's right. That's right. So
Yep.
what do you think about the industry chasing the next shiny framework every day, at least on Twitter?
Yeah. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. I think the problem is not all the frameworks, it's that they try to chase each other, and one has bad ideas, and then the other one's like, we should do those bad ideas. And then like they all are terrible. Like hooks were a huge mistake. And then Vue was like, you know what? We're a pretty good framework, but we should also add hooks. And then Svelte's like, you know what? Runes are cool. Let's do runes. That's like hooks. Like it's like I don't really know what we've unlocked here, other than pain for developers. Like I think you should have a really simple mental model, and then if it needs to do complex stuff, or like just compile it. Like compilers are a thing, or transpile it, or whatever terminology it is to get to whatever end result you need. It's just like chasing these little optimizations that most apps don't need just feels like a lot of pain for developers.
Yeah, because they're all really just like built on each other. So it's like a uni framework, but all of them brag to be like, oh, we're better than the other.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I said it wouldn't get controversial, but I'm interested. What's the bad framework, like the bad influence framework, in your opinion?
Oh, you already know. I got the shirt on right now.
Okay, all right. Why do you believe that? Why do you believe React was a mistake?
Well, okay, so it's a complicated answer. Like the shirt is just to like, be a talking point, but I think originally it was actually okay. Like it was for just the Vue layer. It was like, I want to have this one thing that has interactivity and like changes and updates, and like, cool, that's fine. That sounds like a good use case for a little JavaScript library. And then it's just like become this, okay, well, we have no standards, and we're going to just have all these like meta frameworks on top of it. And you just put stuff wherever you want, and like you do whatever you want. And like your router is a component. Your like everything is a component. It's like, no, it's not. Like a router should be a
Your
router.
components are components. Your app is a component. The server's a component.
Yep.
Everything's a
Your
component.
SQL is now components. Like everything. Like, and that's just things have been separated for a reason. Like I get that people want to just learn React and never learn anything else, and like that's kind of catering to that. And so there's like some value in that like someone can be full stack everything only knowing React, but it just feels like it's pushed the industry really far away from like fundamentals and doing things correctly, and like gotten really complex. It's just like people really want to engineer hard instead of like actually building an app. It's like, I'm going to build a bespoke React framework for the next 3 years. It's going to be perfect. I'm going to have all this stuff. And then 3 years later, you're like, oh, this sucks. I'm going to rewrite this again. Like, what's the next framework? Because you like rewriting it.
Yep.
Yeah, it's the rewriting really gets you. I've rewritten my 3D printing company's framework like 5 times at least, just because I'm like, not even for the new frameworks. It's just purely for the love of the game. I'm just like, you know
Right.
what if this entire app was now written in Go? We're in Node.js right now, but what if it was in Go? Even better, assembly. What if it was in assembly?
All
What if we
right,
just
dude.
made our life a living hell for the next 9 years? It'd be extremely fast. What if we did that?
I mean,
It's
low
like the thought
key,
process.
low key, writing a web server in assembly is kind of fun. You should try it. Just saying. Just saying. Teaches
Do I
you a
look
thing
like I
or
have
two.
time? Do I look like I have time? Come on now.
Yeah. Anywho, So you have some opinions about frontend. I also like. I want to bring up a point. It makes me feel so old, and I'm not that old, by the way. Whenever I bring up that, whenever React started pushing towards server, like the entire industry just turned upside down, in my humble opinion. I feel like things were so much simpler, where React was just single page applications, and then your backend is wherever you want. Like it's just simpler to ship, right? And
Mm-hmm.
like and the traditional MVC paradigm is just so brain dead simple. And with this change also came like the move away from batteries included frameworks, which I also dearly miss. Like,
Yeah, I
wouldn't
miss
it
my
be?
PHP. I two
I do.
rewrites ago of Mandarin 3D was fully in PHP. I think I had one external library, one,
Yeah.
and it was like the G code slicer. Um, but now I think my node modules file is like 19 gigs. It's brutal, man.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah, I think like the whole batteries included thing is a super interesting thing because I think, you know, like you said, it is just fun to tinker with stuff. And like if you take the tinkering away, then you're forced to ship features and nobody wants to do that. So like you just end up doing all the tinkering for fun and like the I think if you use a batteries included framework like Ember or PHP or I guess, you know, Laravel, Rails, like any of these like things on top of those things, because Ember is not full stack, so you still need something on the back end. But um, anyway, all of these things have like really clear conventions and ways to build things so that you don't have to think about how do I do authentication? How do I do, you know, anything my app might need? And then you can actually focus on the thing that makes your app different.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're not searching for a problem. You're actually fixing the problem.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we already talked about this a little bit, but if you weren't in a corporate locked environment for styling and stuff like that, we've got like Tailwind, we've got just vanilla CSS, or maybe even something else. What would you opt for if you were making a brand new project today or tomorrow? What would you opt for as your like styling choice?
Oh, Tailwind all day. Huge Tailwind fanboy. I feel like it's solved CSS. It's like I don't ever need to open a CSS file again, figure out where they are. I just style it right there in my markup. And like if I want to copy that elsewhere, it'll just look the same. I don't need to worry about like all of that. It's just so nice.
Right. Yeah, I saw a cursed. And I wouldn't say cursed, but I saw a video or an image on Reddit where think of like a traditional like Next.js app layout where it's like you've got like page and then page.tsx, page.tsx, and there was a bunch of subtree files. And in each of the folders that contained like the page files, there was page.css. And I mean, it worked, but I was just looking at it and I'm like, oh my gosh, man, that's so much clutter. Like, I can't even physically, it's hard enough with all the page.tsx files. I'm like, I can't even imagine having to manage independent CSS. Like, oh man, this page is broken. Oh, that's because it's inheriting 9 levels up of CSS, and then you need to de-inherit that. Oh my gosh. Oh man.
Yeah, no thanks.
So, you spent quite a bit of time contributing to like Ember.js as a thing people know about. Um, like as an advocate, I guess, if that fits the description. Would you say that fits the description?
Yeah. Yeah, evangelist, advocate.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely trying to get people to check out Ember.
Would you change anything in the model of the framework and design of the framework to serve the devs of today, the devs of 2025, where LLMs are, dropping new snapshots every day and all kinds of new demands are appearing on developer minds?
Yeah, so it's a complicated question because I think just a short time ago we had like the best mental model possible. So everyone hates classes, but it's class based. People hate classes for no reason other than they were told it's cool to hate classes. But so yeah, it uses classes and it's just like tracked properties. So it's kind of like a signal, like people are familiar with signals. So it's like you say this property is tracked, and then when you update it, it just knows to like update whatever it needs to in the DOM or whatever, to be reactive to that. So you don't have to like hook it into any hooks or like be super explicit about anything other than saying like this property should be tracked. I think that is like super duper simple. And now we're getting a little more complex. Like, you know, we also have the shiny object syndrome of like, hey, people do like hooks. Should we do something kind of like that? And I don't think we should, but like there's a library called Starbeam and a thing called Ember Resources that's kind of like around the same ideas. And it's like a hooksy, like, you know, Ember flavored hooks kind of. Not a big fan. Don't know how to really describe what it does because I don't use it that much. But I think like they're trying that and they're making single file components and like, you know, doing a lot of things that like other frameworks are doing to try to make it more approachable and more familiar looking and like removing the magic, because there was a lot of magic of like you had to know like Ember dot, you know, 100 different things existed. And now it's like you just import everything and they're all small utils and like it's not a huge bloated framework anymore. So like a lot of these things are good things, but I think I'm worried about the developer experience going downhill when like we try to make it too much like what people in other frameworks want.
Now, just so that way our listeners and viewers can kind of have a better understanding, um, compare Ember to like a framework like Next.js. What are like the TLDR essentially of why use Ember over any other framework? Can you give like a quick like pro con
Yeah.
type thing?
Yeah. So Ember is like Ember was the first one to really have like a CLI built in. So it had like that unlocked being able to make add-ons. So there's a bunch of packages, Ember add-ons for like everything you would need. Like Ember Simple Auth is how you do authentication usually, you know, etc. So it's got add-ons. It's got a router that's not a component. It's like a fully featured router with all the routing things you would need. It has a first-class data library, Ember Data, or now it's called Warp Drive, and that's going through a lot of changes too. But like it has a really simple mental model of like, here's your models, you define all your properties on them and their relationships and stuff. And then you can just, once you've got that model, you can just like call save on it when you've updated it. And all of that's like interacting with the API and stuff is like obfuscated away and like a serializer and adapter and stuff. So like that gives you a nice, once you've done that work, all you have to do is kind of like save and delete and whatever. And then, yeah, I always really like first class template support that is not JSX. So like it's handlebars ish. I guess it's HTML bars or Glimmer, or I don't know what we call the templating stuff exactly now, but it was all handlebars based. So you've got like your ifs and your eaches and your like things right in there, and you can like you know, have a fully featured like template DSL, I guess.
That's so nice. I miss that. I miss that. I there's so many times where I'm like, I wish I could just like write an if block right here and it wouldn't even render it. Not like it being like display none. It just wouldn't even render. Be so
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, you don't have to do nested ternaries to like figure out what is going to display in your JSX. It's super nice. Yeah, what else? The community is really good too. Like I feel like React and before that Angular, like the very like frameworky frameworks that everyone used, where like you jump into their like Slack or Discord or whatever and you're like, hey, I need some help, and they're like, just go read the manual, bro. Like and like you jump into the Ember one, everybody's like, oh, let me help you with that problem. Like it just feels like a nicer place to be. Yeah, I don't know if I forgot anything, but those are some good reasons.
Nah, it sold me. I'm already halfway through my rewrite. Anyways,
Yeah, but the TLDR is batteries included, heavily opinionated versus, you know, whatever we have right now going on React ecosystem.
yeah, I don't even know what we got going on. What we got going on right now is just nightmarish. Anyways, jumping forward to about 2017, you spin up ShipShape with a previous NextDev guest, Chuck Carpenter. Why?
Yeah, so what was I doing then? I don't know. I've had so many jobs, it's hard to know. But
Suffering
I
from
was
success
trying
over
to.
here.
Sorry, what?
Suffering from success over here.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I was like wanting to kind of start my own consultancy. I was like, at the time, I really looked up to Dockyard, another consultancy that did a lot of Ember stuff. And I was like, hey, I could do that. Like, let me start it on the side. I did like, side work at first, just trying to like get my feet wet. Um, and I guess 2017 was probably when I had like the first real contract that was full time. I had to get like my LLC and do the whole business thing and all of that. So yeah, I was just doing it to like try to kind of, own my own destiny. I didn't have any kids at the time. I like wanted to do Ember all the time, evangelize for Ember, help other companies that needed help. Like a lot of the things we would frequently do is go into a place that's like, hey, I'm on like Ember 113, and the current version then would have been like, I don't know, 2 or 3 something. So like a couple major versions behind and just really stuck, and like help them get to the new thing. Because frequently places are like, I got to ship features, so I can't care about tech debt. So like you come in and care about the tech debt. And so we did a lot of that.
Right, yeah. That's cool. I feel like that definitely puts you in a position to sort of understand and really know how all of like those edge cases of like how Ember really would work, because it's kind of like it's like an IT support job but for like a framework, where
Hmm.
you get thrown in and you just got to learn every little niche aspect of it.
Yeah. Yeah, it does kind of just become second nature. Like you go into a code base and you just know what all you need to fix. And like, because it's so opinionated, oh, something I forgot in my things you should use it for, it has testing built in, and not just like Jest or VTest where it's like, I'm testing something somewhere, you don't see it. It's like a real UI, like a Cypress style, or a, like, I don't know what the kids use these days, but you can see it. You can have it click on stuff, like nice stuff. What was I saying before that? I just went on a tangent. I don't know.
I was so interested on the testing stuff. I lost our train of thought.
Yeah.
No, but we
Yeah.
were talking about just how like the consulting and how you sort of just it became second naked nature for you to sort of understand and ingest these sort of code bases.
Oh, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I think what I was going to say is like because of that testing first class citizen kind of stuff, you like never even really need to run the apps you're building. You can just like run a test in isolation and like fix your stuff. So like frequently I'd work on apps and never run them. Like I'd be able to upgrade everything and just write new tests and stuff. And when they pass, we're good. So like it's an interesting aspect as well.
Interesting. Yeah.
So you still spent quite a bit of time on ShipShape, right? It's still an ongoing thing, right?
No.
No.
I wish it was. Yeah, Chuck and I were holding on for a while. Like at the height, we had probably like, I'm trying to think, like 6 or 7 employees and like 10 contractors or something. And then, yeah, like this year we were down to 1 employee and ourselves, and now we're at nobody. There's just no work to go around. Um, yeah, like the pandemic was actually really good for work. And then the whatever happened after that with like the recession and the whatever we're doing now is like been terrible. Like no one has any money.
I see. And everybody's bringing people into the office. Maybe that contributes. Don't know.
Yeah. And everyone is like, why do I need a consultant? I can use AI for that.
Oh yes, that's right. That's also a good
Yeah.
one.
AI is right 100% of the time. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah,
Oh,
that's
of
true.
course. Yeah. Yeah.
I haven't do my taxes actually. I got like 200K return this year.
Did you really?
No.
Okay.
I
I
did
was
for
like,
real
if you
though.
are, you need to share that. How you did that.
I mean, I opened up TurboTax and then fired up Cluely, and then I just asked it what to do
Oh, that's
the
brilliant.
for the taxes. I was like, "Hey, what should I enter for this field?" And it was like $100,000. I'm like, "Okay."
Yeah.
So
I
last
always
year, I
joked
apparently
with
gave $100,000 to some charity. I don't know which charity.
nice. I always joked with Chuck, like, we need shadyaiaccountants.com. Like, you need something, like, I want a thing that knows all those things. Like, oh, you could put $10,000 here and no one will ever check. Like it's not illegal. It's just like, like, so you, that's what I want. Where's that AI product at?
All right, guys, take notes. Whoever's watching.
ShadyAIaccountant.com is available on Vercel domains for $10.81. Somebody go pick that up.
But ShipShape is an interesting experience. I feel like not a lot of developers actually have the, what would I call it, bravery to get into their own venture doing software consulting. What would you say were your biggest lessons from engaging in that?
Yeah, so I used to think that like starting your own business is kind of the only real way to make money. Like you can make okay money working for someone else, but like when you can, leverage other people to do more work under your company and stuff, you can like start to make more and more money is like the theory. Um and I thought like, I built it pretty well until like I hadn't and it went away. But like, that was my original thought. And then like some people that were like four of us in a class in college doing like database stuff, like writing SQL things for 24 hours straight for some project kind of stuff. Two of those guys were like L7 engineers at Amazon making, I don't know what they made, but like up to like $1 million or something. And I'm like, I made the wrong choices. So like, I think there's, depending on how well your business does, starting a business is still the best way to make more money. But if you don't, if you run out of work or you don't do it right, it's not. Like there's also merit to like doubling down at a Manamana company or like, wherever. It just depends. Everything depends.
Yeah, we have to talk more about this Manamana acronym that you use. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, it's I'm not going to be able to get them all. Let's see. Meta, Apple, Netflix, Amazon, Microsoft. Yeah, that's one I know Nvidia and Anthropic. I'm missing an A for the other A. But yeah, it's like Fang is just like Facebook isn't called Facebook anymore. Google's not called Google anymore, really. Like
Alphabet.
yeah. So it's just like it's like we just stretched it. We wanted it to be Menomina. So we were like, all right, we can make this work.
Yeah. So it's probably Microsoft and Meta for the M's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Makes sense. Interesting.
Yeah, it's every stuff is changing too quickly. Too quickly. It's like these companies. I think the only one that's kind of stayed has been Netflix and Nvidia, and Apple
What about Microsoft?
Well, Microsoft was never
Have you
included,
used
and
their
I think
products?
that is a mistake. They should have been included forever. They make tons of money. Like they own everything that I use for work or play. Like
I'm so
NPM,
sorry.
GitHub,
I'm
Xbox.
so sorry for you. Do you use Teams?
Unfortunately, now we do. Yeah. IBM does.
It is. Yeah. I mean, it makes sense, right?
I
It's
came
convenient.
from a Teams org, and now I'm on a Slack org. I love Slack so much more.
You're a happier man, huh?
You know why?
Why?
Because when I click on something, it doesn't take like the web view to whatever like native framework that they use for rendering like the website version of the app, but it's like a native app, like 10 minutes to load up. Like Slack loads up pretty quickly. But whenever I would load up Teams on my other laptop, that sucker would take at least like 10 minutes to load up. And I'm just sitting there, I'm like, well, I guess the customer can wait because obviously I can't do anything.
Is it an Electron app?
It is. Wait, are you dunking on like Edge
No.
WebView stuff?
It's not. It's called something else. It's not Electron, it's Microsoft Windows.
Jonathan Creamer, tell us what it is. Appear.
WebView
2. Yeah,
Yeah.
WebView 2. WebView 2.
Yeah, that's what I said. Why are you
Sucks.
dunking on it? What do you mean? It's Chromium based.
It's slow. I don't care
Interesting.
what it's based on. It's slow.
This
That's
shouldn't
that
be.
I'll pull the end user thing right there. I don't care what fancy frameworks you have. If it takes me 5 minutes to load up and actually do work on it, then
Interesting.
That's slow.
I don't know. If you ask me, it sounds like a skill issue, but we'll get past that. Maybe it's a machine issue. I don't know. Anywho,
It's Microsoft, man. That's all I'm
Mike.
saying.
Okay, see, this is a negative sentiment towards Microsoft. A lot of people hate them. Like you'll see a lot of people hate on Slack too. Just because.
Yeah.
Well,
There's really
I can back up my Microsoft hate because I used to work in a domain an Active Directory site as an IT infra specialist for 2 years, so I can justify my hate. I can write an essay on it too if you really want it.
Yeah, I think the big thing, like, I've always hated Windows, but like, I think everything else they have is fine. Like,
Yep.
they've acquired pretty much everything that I need for work, so it's
Yeah,
fine.
it works.
Well, talking of acquisitions, HashiCorp is part of IBM for like a year now, I think. How has your experience been
Well,
with that?
yeah, it was announced, I don't know, a long time ago, but it didn't actually happen until June 1st, was like when we became IBM employees.
Mm-hmm.
It's been pretty good, actually. I didn't know what to expect, but like during the transition, they were like, okay, all the stuff you have, like if the new benefits cost more, we'll pay the difference. And like all of your vacation can transfer over. And like everyone that's remote can still be remote. We're not going to force you into the office like all the other IBM employees. So other IBM employees probably don't like us a whole lot for that. But yeah, I've been treated nothing but well from everything so far.
Interesting. That is very much unlike the industry standard of, being radical, changing things, changing everything. Yeah.
Yeah,
Curious.
the only thing that we've had so far, two things that might have to change. One, we might have to use their design system. We're not sure yet. Um, and then they have like really deep scans of all the licenses and security stuff of all the things you're using, your entire like node modules and everything, which has been fun to look through.
I can one up you on that because I work for Neon, which was acquired by Databricks. And other than now having to use a YubiKey, I can no longer use Raycast.
Ooh.
Wait, why is that?
I don't know. I just got an in-app message saying that this device is now restricted, and every time I do Shift Command V and nothing pops up, it's just a heavy sigh. I'm like, wait, so the 9 things I copied are just lost forever now?
You can build your own thing. It's not that bad.
I don't have time for that. That's why Raycast is amazing. It's
Vibe
fast.
code
It
it.
does it for me.
Vibe code it.
Yeah, slow. I'm not gonna get into that. Anyways, Databricks bring Raycast back.
Okay.
But yeah,
So, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, yeah, they don't seem to care exactly what's installed on your machine. We don't have that problem. It's just like the things we're shipping to customers. So we found like there's this thing, what was it called? Numerical recipes. Are you familiar with like is this old textbook or something? And apparently they decided, all right, we're gonna publish this textbook, and in it is gonna be like a few constants. And I'm not sure what the constants are. I think some of them are like, I don't know, maybe number of like milliseconds in the epoch, or like, I don't know, stuff you would need for programming or math or whatever. And they're like, these are copywritten. If you use any of these numbers, like you have to include that you're using them from numerical recipes. So it was flagged on a few things that we have. And I'm like, what? Like, guys, how is this? This should be public domain. This is not like a thing you can copyright.
you can copyright numbers like that. Doesn't hold on. Let me look that up. Keep talking.
It's
That does
like
make
a-
sense. I'm looking
It's
that
like
up
a
right
little,
now.
yeah, I don't know much about it. I just learned enough about it to be annoyed, but yeah, it's like some things, several of them were in Go. So like I think, I don't know, somebody building Go packages was like, I should use these numbers, and then somehow mention that they're from this, or I don't know.
That sounds bizarre. But I wouldn't mess with the copyright. Like crazy things can happen in that system from what I heard. Crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
So Ryan, Finding anything
I'm trying
interesting?
to find it. I'm perusing right now.
Okay,
I'm
well,
having to jump over a bunch of Quora articles that are just, I swear they're all just AI now. Like it's just like, is a number copyrightable? No. Do you think a is copyrightable? No. Just, no need. Anyways,
well, as
AI
we
slop.
mentioned earlier, why don't you just ask AI? AI is 100% of the time correct.
You're right.
Yeah.
I should have. Yeah.
Yeah.
No need to turn on web or fact check or a reasoning model that could actually double check its facts. I think you just go grab like GPT 3.0 or even 2.0, and it would just dish out the facts just
Well,
perfectly.
it's not like you can even trust like a reasoning model to verify the facts, right? I mean, by design, language models are non-deterministic systems, although the risk of it hallucinating something is getting closer to zero, it's never zero. Like it's by design.
Yeah.
That's how the
It's
technology
just
works.
it's like a how can I say this correctly? It's like people that are in a group together
Yeah.
that are just gaslighting themselves into just thinking that somebody's making a correct decision and they're all just like gaslighting each other type thing. That's essentially what like a model is with no particular. I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm not gonna.
Interesting. Interesting.
We
Yeah,
want we want
LLM
to
is
Yeah.
retain our sponsors.
yeah, LLM is a function of the data corpus. Anyway, moving on from that topic. HashiCorp. You are mostly working on the front end type of things, is that right?
Yep.
So how exactly do you make it fun to work with Terraform templates or whatever?
I don't know. We have a few front ends, but my like specific role and team is less about building the things people are going to use and more about like the architecture. So we like are in charge of the Ember upgrades and like converting everything to single file components and Vite compatibility and embroider and things like that. So I'm not really into like what's doing what all that often. Um, so I don't have a lot to tell you there about, about how we're making it fun to do that stuff.
I see. So when you say architecture, you mean like just maintenance of code bases?
Yeah, pretty much like to get to the latest Ember version and be Vite compatible, you have to like update these other dependencies and like, the cascading effect of all the dependencies linked together and how to get them all up to date and like best practices, like telling people not to use the old Ember stuff and here's the new way to do it and like educating people and that kind of stuff. Like the front end I don't know what the word is. It's like the mentors, I guess, of the rest of the front end groups that actually build the features.
Right. So what does your like day to day look like? Because you've obviously mentioned not like a ton of hats, but like you wear a couple of different hats. So like, what's your like daily routine? Like wake up, ask AI.
Yeah, so I've been using AI more, but it still has not impressed me. So I don't use as much AI because like today even I was like working on some open source stuff. So like, but before I get into that, I'll go through your actual question. So yeah, um, today I was doing stuff with those licenses, like the numerical recipes and the different stuff. I had like an audit of all these dependencies, make sure we were compliant with all the licenses. So I had to do that. Did some PR reviews, uh, worked on getting a couple Ember add-ons updated so they would work with Vite for our code base that we're trying to get on Vite. Yeah, just kind of various things bouncing all over the place. Sometimes I'll do some pairing. I've been doing a lot of work with Runspired, the guy that does Ember data and Warp Drive. So we're like trying to get Ember data model fragments to work with that, and it's like we have to be on like 5.7 alpha 12, like like the latest like thing to get it to work. So I've been like, hey, this doesn't work, and then he fixes it and puts out a new alpha, and like we iterate on that. Stuff like that. Like I feel like things that, your casual front end developer with a couple years experience who just wants to build stuff like would not even think about doing. I think that's kind of like the stuff that I'm doing, which is mostly good, but like sometimes I want to build things too, and I don't get to build a lot of stuff.
Interesting. So, I mean, it sort of makes sense. You're a staff engineer, right? You're more
Yeah.
focused on management than shipping things. How many people do you manage, if you don't mind me asking?
Let's see. So the front end foundations group is pretty small, like maybe 8 to 10 people, and then we like kind of break up across the apps. So like myself and another engineer are in charge of like the cloud UI stuff, which is basically like the app that everything but Terraform is in, like everything, all of our other products pretty much. So each of those is like their own engine, which is like a small app. And each of those has a team. And so we're kind of like helping them to upgrade and ship features and stuff. So I don't know how far that goes. I think that channel has like 170 people in it. So, 100 give or take probably are engineers that are working on stuff.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah.
So you started talking about using AI in your work, and I'm curious to hear, like, do you actually use language models in your daily workflows?
Definitely not daily. I keep trying, hoping that it's going to surprise me. But like today, I had a problem. I was working on a prettier plugin, and like prettier plugins have to export certain things, one of which is languages. And it was like, the classic JavaScript error of like, can't access languages of undefined or whatever. And I'm like, cool, that means the thing is undefined. And like, ChatGPT is telling me like you didn't supply languages, and I'm like, bro, the error right there says you tried to access languages on a thing that's not defined, and then it's like, oh, you're right, like that thing's not defined, and then I went through like a few more iterations, and it went back to that. It's like it's because you didn't define languages. I'm like, no, it's not. Like that thing is not there. Like, so they just like, I think they should be less confident and like not be like, I know for sure what the answer is. Here you go. They should be like, maybe you could look at this and like try this. And like, if there's a thing that any human can read and know that the error is a certain thing, you should at least not be getting that wrong. Like,
I think something really funny about that is, what is AI? AI is trained on all human material. So it's essentially like the average human, right? And since it's trained on all the material, it knows how humans would act in certain scenarios. So it's a egotistical, overly confident person that's like, no, 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 the language is wrong. Oh, it's not? Well, then it's something else. It's not that. It's not. Oh, maybe it's the language is wrong again. I'm like, that's just the average developer. It's just deny, deny, deny. It's the framework, not me. No, it could never.
Yeah, but I haven't found anything like super useful. Cursor is awful in my opinion. Windsurf is pretty okay.
Hold on. Go back to Cursor. How elaborate on that? How has your experience been with that? Because I personally use Cursor and I love it. It works like nearly perfectly for me. Like I spend
It's
maybe like
hard.
2 seconds reviewing code, but other than that, it just works.
It's hard to put my finger on exactly what it is, but it's just like little things. Like it feels bad. Like the UI is a little less sexy than Windsurf. Like the things that happen when you press tab are slightly less good than the suggestions from Windsurf. Even though, everybody's using the same models and you can switch between all of them everywhere and whatever. There's just a little bit of like extra polish in Windsurf or something that makes it
Interesting.
better to use. Or maybe it was the types of problems I was using it on, because I tried Cursor for like a bunch of stuff that I didn't want to do myself and it did a really bad job. So maybe I should like give Windsurf some similarly bad problems and see what happens. But
yeah, I found my moat for using Cursor is obviously if I'm shipping something, I want to ship fast. So I use like the most average, well-known frameworks, which for right now for AI is like Next.js.
Hmm.
And it seems to really understand that. And I have a really well-defined like cursor rules and everything like that. But I've found, because I was doing pair programming with someone the other day, and they were like, "Why are you typing so much into your AI?" And I'm like, "Well, I gotta give it like context and like what to do." And they were like, "You don't let it figure out what to do?" And I was like, "No, because if it does that, then it breaks everything." So, and I guess people don't do this, but when I like prompt into Cursor, it's like 9 paragraphs. It's like, "Hey, grab this from here, put that there, connect this to here." So it's like I just use it for like an abstraction level, like one above like the actual coding, instead of being like, "See this problem? Fix it." I say, "This problem is due to this, this, this. Use these doc references to implement this and have secure testing." So I don't know. Maybe try that out, but maybe it also might be because the sort of like code that you're working on isn't as well known within the LLM as well, or something like that. AI is weird
Yeah.
like that,
So
but it's never
so
wrong.
that that reminds me actually of what the one of the problems was that I had. So this is a thing that is probably not good at doing is I was like, take this Next.js app and just convert it to Astro. I don't want Next.js. I want it to be Astro. I don't like want any of that stuff. So it just totally fails at that. But then while it's doing that, I was like, hey, it's like, hey, here's this file. Like, I'm going to change it to this. Like, gives me, the output. I'm like, cool. Like, save it for me. And it's like, cool, I did it. Like, it's updated. File's not updated. And I'm like, hey, did you mean to like not save anything there? And it's like, oh, my bad, my bad. I'll actually save it in the file this time. Doesn't do it. And then I was
Were
like,
you were
hold on.
you
And I go,
using
hey,
Gemini?
no, I think it was, uh, what was it? It might have been GPT or it's either
Okay,
GPT
okay.
or Claude. I don't know. But I was like, hey, we're in Cursor right now. You have access to save this file. Can you please do it? Or are you just going to keep telling me you're doing it and not actually do it? And it goes, hey, I'm just going to keep telling you I'm doing it, but there's no way I'm saving this for you. It's like what it told me. And I was like, really? Like,
It leveled with you. It said, "Hey
yeah.
man, hands are tied." No, the reason I ask if it's Gemini is the Gemini 2.5 model is really, really powerful at yapping, not at doing. The tool call ability on it is just horrible. Because I was doing something with it in Cursor the other day, and I was like, it was a very, very small fix change, and it just needed to do a couple of things. And I was like, I'm gonna do this, 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 and this. I'm like, perfect, excellent, do it. Okay, it's done. No, it's not. You didn't even run a tool call. Ah, you're right. Let me do that now. All right, it's done. No, it's not. I can see that it's not. I don't know how you can be this bad, but yeah, that's the hallucinations with AI. It's just like once we reach that point where, and I don't think we're gonna reach it with like fine-tuned LLMs. It's just like once we get past that hallucination point, then they're just gonna be so much more bearable to work with.
Well, what you're referring to is the tool calling problem, and that's slightly different.
No, but it hallucinates that it actually ran the tool calls. And it's so confident that it's like, I ran this, and it's like, no, you didn't. Can you look back at your thing and tell me where you ran this? And it
Sure.
says I ran this here, here, and here, and I did this. It gave me MLA references
Huh. Interesting.
to like what? Like it was the what's like the paper website library name? It's like the E
Arch
something or no,
Archive,
not
ARXIV.
no. There's another one. It's
Hmm.
but anyways, it gave me links like that, and I clicked on it, and it was just dead links. But I'm like,
Yeah,
what? I'm just confused.
interesting. But yeah, have you tried Grok 4 at all, Robbie?
I haven't tried Grok, any version of Grok.
Interesting.
I haven't really ventured past GPT and Claude mostly.
Very interesting. Grok 4 has been an improvement on tool calls, like compared to other models. So that's worth trying. Ryan is saying something with the muted mic. I'm wondering what his comment is. Ryan, you meant to say something?
No, I was just clearing my throat, but I do have
Oh,
thoughts on Grok. It's it's good. It's not the best. It's good at thinking through some like deeper problems, but for now, I definitely recommend going with a Cursor Opus Claude sort of approach. Opus for planning, Sonnet for implementation is my go-to.
interesting. Very interesting.
Yeah, I
Anywho,
found them very useful at planning and like doing the deep research in Claude and being like, I need to build this thing. Give me like, go look at 300 people that did it and like give me advice. It's good at that. But then if you're like, okay, now that you understand it, right? You just told me everything, so you understand it, right? Can you implement it? It's like, no way can I do that for you.
yeah, that makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
Anyway, want to move on from the LLM topic. We got stuck here a little. I want to talk about Whiskey Web and whatnot. Uh, we interacted with you guys actually at React Miami. You guys were kind enough to lend us your equipment so that we can run an episode on the venue. Thank you very much for that. I'm curious why you started the podcast and what was the story behind it from your point of view. We already talked to Chuck about it, so now I want to hear it from you.
Yeah, so it's not that deep. It's it was pandemic times and everyone wanted to start podcasts because it was like that's something to do during the pandemic. And we were like, hey, you know what we could also do? We could make it whiskey themed, and then whiskey can be a business expense. So
What? How can we make a business out of two dudes talking to each other and drinking?
It's genius,
I
honestly.
know. I've got an idea. Hey, it's genius. I love the idea. Yeah, like you
I
said.
love it.
It's amazing. Need to go
yeah,
grab some
so it's
Smirnoff
like
right now.
it's pretty informal, and like our format's kind of been all over the place. We're still trying to figure out who we are, but like we typically now do a lot more just interviews and like um do some hot takes and like talk about whatever's going on in tech that day pretty much. We used to have like dedicated segments, like we did a accessibility hour and like I don't even remember what else, honestly. But like we used to do a lot more planned out stuff, and now it's more like we drink, we hang out, we talk. Like and that sometimes is good and sometimes is not as entertaining, but you get what you get. You come hang out with us, have a drink, and you might have some fun.
Makes sense, yeah. What has been your favorite guest so far on Whiskey? Do you have one?
We have several favorites that we've had on several times. Like Kelly Vaughn, Primogen, Chris Coyer. I don't know. I'm sure there's someone that's like that we have on all the time that I'm forgetting right now, and I'm sorry to that person. But we're Typecraft. Yeah, like Adam Argyle. Adam Argyle's been on a bunch. Yeah, we're trying to have
Nice.
like a set of people, like maybe 10 or 15, and stop having just so many like random guests and just like be more of a panel style and like go through those people will like guest host and stuff because like Chuck's moving to Italy. He's going to be less available. I have 2 newborn twins. Like I'm
Put
not
them
as
on the
available.
podcast.
What's
See what
that?
they have
come on the
to see what
podcast.
put them on the podcast in the panel. See what they have to think about
Yeah.
the new JS plugins.
Yeah, they hate it too. Um, but yeah, so like our format's probably going to change and be more like focused around that at some point, but I don't know. And we just have fun. We do live stuff at events and things, and did the Rum React and Ramblings, and we're going to do All Things Open in October. And I'm going to do Big Sky DevCon like in a week or whenever that is. I'm going to be speaking there and doing a podcast during lunch with Typecraft and Primogen.
Nice, that's awesome.
So check that out if you are around then. It's on a Saturday, which is like weird for a conference. Like it's usually during the week so that you don't have to lose your weekend. But if you're not doing anything midday Saturday, hanging out with your family or friends, check out the streaming of the conference.
Hey, hold on. The personal plug segment comes later in the show.
Yeah, dude,
All
come
right, you're
on.
getting doxed 20 seconds from your personal plug. Unless you can get Primeagen and Typecraft. Actually, I think Typecraft is already scheduled for us. All right, unless you can get Primeagen.
We should check.
I think so.
Yeah. Anywho, 5 minutes remaining on the clock. Let's get to the lightning round. What's your favorite editor right now?
VS Code.
Wait, really?
True to his roots. Very
Interesting.
nice.
Okay.
VS Code Insiders, specifically the nightly version. Got to restart it.
It has a cooler
update
logo.
Yeah.
It has a cooler logo. Come on now. Like, yeah, come on. It's an easy
Yeah.
choice. Do you have a preferred font?
Yeah, Mona Lisa.
Interesting.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
I'm more of a monospace type guy. I don't know if you've seen that one, but that is it's like an Xcode-esque type font.
And it's called Mono
amazing.
Space.
Mona, M-O-N-A
Oh, okay.
space.
Gotcha,
I know,
gotcha.
not monospace.
I was gonna say, if you named it
real
the same
niche of
thing
me.
as like the generic monospace, that'd be very confusing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love the font heading 1. Oh, it's amazing. It's just perfect.
Wait, is that a thing?
No,
Oh, okay.
I wish it was.
You got me. Next one, Linux or Mac?
Mac.
Okay.
Good man, good man. And final, what's your go-to whiskey?
Sagamore Rye.
Interesting.
All
Drinking
different
some
types
right
of
now?
Sagamore Rye.
Nice.
Their general one is like $35. Can't really beat it if you're like not sure about rye and you like, have had whiskey and bourbon and stuff. Give that a try. Very approachable. But they have a bunch of like really cool ones, like a Manhattan finish and a port finish and interesting things.
Has a whiskey brand ever sponsored Whiskey Web and Whatnot?
I don't think so. We've been
Because I feel like that'd be
trying to do that.
prime. I feel like that'd be prime territory. Like,
Yeah, I guess we had the guys from Friday Deployment Spirits on recently, which is
Yep,
like a
yep.
developer themed spirits company. I mean, they sent us whiskey if you count that as sponsoring. But
yeah, you know what? We'll take it.
yeah. But yeah, I think it's like a weird like whiskey companies are like, I don't know what like JavaScript is. Like they don't care about what we're doing. So I think it'll happen sometime, maybe a smaller, local distillery or something. But yeah, we haven't pushed that hard on it.
That's funny. All right. Now you get your 2-minute plug time. All right. But it's only 1 minute and 40 seconds because you already did that other thing. Oh,
Yeah.
unacceptable, man.
Yeah, check out Whiskey Web and Whatnot. Whiskey.fm will take you to all the links for all the places to find us. Check out Ember.js. It's a really opinionated convention over configuration framework that has a really good developer experience. You can find me as Robbie the Wagner everywhere, Twitter, Instagram. I'm basically just on Twitter. Yeah, RobbieTheWagner.dev is my site if you want to find all my links. Keep using Terraform a lot, everyone, so I can keep having a job. Yeah, I don't know. I don't have a lot to plug, I don't think. I always forget things, but main thing is the podcast. When I don't mention the podcast, Chuck is like, you didn't mention the podcast. And I'm like, oh, crap.
All right, that's great. We like to close out with the classic question. I'll preface this with a statement that there is a correct answer, but don't let this, affect your, feel free to answer however you feel, honestly. What would be one piece of advice you would give yourself from 10 years ago?
Don't get rid of all your Bitcoins.
Oof.
Explain.
I used to buy tons of Bitcoins and like just gamble them on Blackjack Online. And if I had just like kept them, I could just be retired. So,
How much,
oopsies.
roughly, you don't have to share, but like, how much did you have if you say at one point? Like, how many Bitcoin?
Probably at any one time, just they were like, when I was doing that, they were like $50 to $100, somewhere in that range. So probably like, I don't know, 50 max at any like point, like not a ton. But I started acquiring them when they were like, I was mining and like got an ASIC miner, and like I started getting a lot, like I spent thousands of dollars on ASIC miners, and I was like, Bitcoins are only worth like $500 now, so like this is stupid. Let me sell my ASIC miner. Like if you just doubled down and just mined, you could just be done. Like you're
You could have-
retired now. Like
You could have 65 million right now if you had kept that.
yeah, I also had like much lower stakes, but I had like 1,000 Litecoin on a hard drive somewhere, and I was like, well, I wish I could find that hard drive. I think I threw it away because like the plug broke or something, and it was worth nothing at that time. So
Dang.
yeah, if
rough.
anyone's looking for investment advice, do the opposite of what I do on everything, and you will be so rich.
Right?
All right. In the verse, Robbie the Wagner. There you go.
Yeah.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you so much. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on today.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Of course. And thank you to CodeRabbit for sponsoring today's live episode. And thank you to all of our viewers who are either watching live or listening past tense. Thank you. And we will see you next time. Peace out.
Cheers.